Guys, we have just potentially had a game-changing tool added to TradingView today. I logged in, when I came home from work, I checked out the stock markets, I logged into TradingView, had a little notification up here at the top of my screen, went to go see what it was. It said, "What's new?" This is where they post all their news. And at the top of the list, says right here, "We're pleased to announce an open beta test for brand new indicators, chart patterns. Find out what these can do for your analysis in our latest blog." You click there and it goes to this blog right here. Guys, this is huge, especially for this channel. You know I'm big on chart patterns. I love them. I use them for my trade setups, and I use them to really figure out which way I think a stock is going to go, or even the whole stock market is going to go. Short, medium, long term, all the above. I love me some chart patterns, and I think a lot of the viewers of this channel do as well, because that's probably why you have subscribed to me, because I make a lot of chart pattern videos, right? So TradingView has added chart patterns built into their charts now. It's incredible. You don't have to go looking for them yourself and drawing them yourself. So it takes a lot of the work out of the job. You still need that human factor, though. I've been playing around with this a little bit, and it's not perfect yet. Like they said in the little update there, it's still in beta. I don't know how much better it's going to get from here. Hopefully they make some improvements based on the feedback, but based on my initial testing, it's very cool. Awesome tool. Does a really good job, but it's not perfect, and I'll show you what I mean there. But real quick, go over the blog post. Please announce the launch of an open beta test. So you can go in right now and try this stuff out. These are all of the patterns that they have available right now: bullish flag, the pennant flag, the double top, triple top, head and shoulders, triangle, rectangle, and wedge. When I first read this list, I wondered, okay, are they going to have the inverted versions of all of these as well? Because they have head and shoulders listed, which is a bearish pattern, right? But I love inverted head and shoulders patterns because they're bullish, right? They're inverted version, so they project a bullish outcome for a stock, and it's a very good pattern. So I was really hoping they had the inverted head and shoulders, and they do. They have the inverted versions of all of these as well. So I will show you how to do that a little bit later on in this video. And then they just talk about how to add them to your chart, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that pretty much right now. Let's just scroll through here and see if there's anything else in this blog that is super important to note out. They said the depth of the pattern search is limited to the last 600 bars right now. I thought, honestly, that number sounds massive, 600 bars, right? I was actually thinking that might not be enough, but my initial testing made it look like it probably is enough. But it would be nice if it was a little bit more. Think about it like this. If you're looking at daily candlesticks, right, 600 bars is 600 days. That's almost 2 years of a timeline looking at daily candlesticks, which is that's a lot. So it just depends on your time frame, really. If you're looking at the 1 minute candlesticks, 600 bars is 600 minutes, right, and so forth. So it can be a lot of data. It just depends on how big of a chart pattern you're looking for. Sometimes I like to look at massive chart patterns, like the video I just put out a couple weeks ago talking about the price of gold. That is a chart pattern that has been forming for years now, years. So something to think about there. They have a cap on the amount of bars right now, and they actually use that wording, at the moment, which suggests they might change that number in the future, right, based on testing. So but yeah, they also say you can invert any of these patterns, so the opposite of all of these listed also apply, which is great. Okay, so at the bottom, let's see. They just say thanks, and we're looking forward to hearing your feedback, comments, and suggestions for any improvements. I wanted to provide feedback, but they didn't leave a link anywhere. So I don't know where to go to provide feedback yet. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll get their email address or something. I don't know. But yeah, it says we're looking forward to feedback, but I don't know where to go to provide that feedback. So maybe a link will pop up soon. Anyway, let's jump to the chart and show you guys what they are talking about here. So I pulled up Apple as an example, and what they're telling you to do is go up to this button up here that says indicators. We're going to click that, and I've already pulled it up, but you would click on technicals right here, and then you would click on chart patterns, or you can just type in this search bar chart patterns, whatever, it'll come right up. And then you can see all of the patterns that they have already listed in the tool, right? So you just click on head and shoulders, for example, the one I was talking about, and you will see it is added to your little list of indicators over here. So what does that do when it adds to your list of indicators? Well, it starts to look for them on your chart. And on this chart of Apple, you can see this popped up. This is a head and shoulders right here that they found automatically. This is pretty significant development for TradingView here. This is amazing stuff. So they found a head and shoulders pattern right here on Apple's chart. Granted, this is back at the beginning of 2021. So it doesn't really help us a whole lot right now. You're looking at historical data. It doesn't help us figure out where Apple is going to go tomorrow, right, or next week. But that doesn't mean that it can't do that. This is just one example. So let's look at this example and see if it figured it out correctly, right? This looks like, a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. It breaks through the neckline, and then it breaks down. That looks pretty valid to me. That looks really good, actually. So far so good there. That checks out. However, there looks like there's a head and shoulders pattern right here that it did not identify. So I don't know why it didn't identify that. Maybe this shoulder right here is too high, right? This head is not high enough above this shoulder. I don't know what the parameters are, that they have set in their algorithm to find head and shoulders patterns. But this looks like it could have been close to being one, and it's currently breaking down as we speak, right? This also looks like a very weak possible inverted head and shoulders, right? This is an upside down left shoulder, upside down head, upside down right shoulder, and then it breaks to the upside. So let's show you guys how to look for inverted versions of these tools now, or this indicator, and see if it picks that up. All right, so let's go up here where we have our head and shoulders chart pattern listed. We're going to click on this little gear, go into the settings, and then we're going to click invert pattern. Check that, hit OK, and you see it did find an inverted head and shoulders pattern on Apple. It did not identify the one that I thought it may, although that's not a great head and shoulders right there, or inverted head and shoulders. Just like this one is not perfect, this one is also not perfect. So it looks like it's pretty strict about how perfect this head and shoulders pattern needs to be, which is good. You want it to be strict. You don't want it to show you every single chart pattern that could maybe be close to making the cut, because then you're making trades based off of these chart patterns that are just not very robust. They have lower odds of playing out. So this inverted head and shoulders does look good. Breaks above the neckline, and then it breaks to the upside. So that checks out to me. That looks like an inverted head and shoulders is a pretty good one. It's a small one. It doesn't break out a ton, but it does kind of fit what we're looking for. Let's look at some other charts real quick, and let's see what it finds. Oh, here's a big one on Facebook back at the beginning of 2020. This one's a little wonky. I don't know about this one. They're saying that is the left shoulder, this is a head, This is the right shoulder, and there's the breakout. I don't know. I mean, look how steep that neckline is. Look how small that left shoulder is compared to that head and then that right shoulder. These are just very strange. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, the sizes are just all off, right? It just doesn't look very clean to me. So that's what I meant earlier about, you know, saying there's still a human factor to this. So you have to really kind of take a look at all of these things that it's trying to show you and determine for yourself, is that something that I want to risk my money on or not? This is a great tool for identifying potential chart patterns that you may not have seen. You know, like you could have a huge watch list now. You could get through many more stocks in a day or in an hour, however much time you have to go through your watch list. Your watch list can be longer now because you don't have to sift through with the naked eye looking for chart patterns. You can just stick, you know, I want to look at head and shoulders, and I want to look at bull flags, and I want to look at double bottoms, whatever. You can throw them on your indicator list and let TradingView run through all these stocks for you. And as you click through them, you know, you say, okay, you know, TradingView didn't find any on that one. TradingView didn't find any on that one, and just keep going through. Look, on Amazon, TradingView found an inverted head and shoulders right here. Now, granted, this one did not break to the upside. No chart pattern has a 100% success rate, but it did happen to find one. And then you would go in and say, well, was this actually one that I would have traded personally myself looking at this? No, this is not an inverted head and shoulders to me. But TradingView tried, right? They said, you know, hey, take a look at this. This might be something you want to look at. Thank you. Appreciate it. Moving on. So, like I said, there's still some human factor left there. So I'm not out of a job. Thank God. Thankfully, I'm not out of a job. And you guys should be doing the same as well. You should be looking at these patterns and saying, is this correct? These are really just ideas. There's a decent one. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of skewed. It's not perfect. This one's okay as well. Not perfect. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that TradingView has a new chart patterns indicator tool in beta right now, which is fantastic. You know, as soon as I figure out a way to provide feedback, I probably will. If you guys know how to provide feedback, leave it down in the comments for me so that I can get to it. But please, guys, take a look at the tool. Play around with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is this something that you think is worth using? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for it, especially because it's the beta, which means there's going to be improvements. They're going to take our feedback into consideration. They're going to play with it. They're going to make improvements. So this is really good stuff. I'm pretty excited, especially just to see TradingView keeps pumping out all of these new features. Like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, this little what's new section, I am constantly seeing updates almost every single time I log in at TradingView, at least once a day. They're letting me know, hey, we just added this, we added that, we changed this. Like, they're just constantly doing all kinds of cool stuff to TradingView. So if you guys aren't using TradingView consistently and you are traders and you're technical analysis traders, I recommend it. Highly recommend it. Okay, that's what I got, guys. If you have stuck around this long, you have not hit that like button, and you're not a subscriber, please do both those things. Stick around. Help my channel out by hitting that like button. Hit that subscribe button so you can continue to see more videos like this. I do how-tos. I do chart pattern analysis videos, all kinds of stuff. Check out all my videos on my page. I would appreciate it, and let me know if you like them. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one.